Hey guys, so been doing some testing. We did a bunch of mutator runs today on Tempest. Tempest just came out, super excited. Did a bunch of runs, and I keep hearing these rumors that shields have been changed. The stats have been changed, or not the stats, but the functionality, how the stats work, when they apply, when they don't. So just a quick rundown. Back in the day when you had a shield that had Constitution on it, even if you had your sword out, not sheathed but actually out, actively running around with your sword out like you're going to attack something, and you go to either cut down a tree or open a chest, and that shield had Constitution on it, your HP would go down when you go to when you go to activate something or open a chest. So then we were asking questions like, well, if the Constitution and the attribute points go away, what about luck? What's the point of having luck on your shield if all the stats go away whenever you do something like loot a chest? Then we were thinking, okay, so maybe the luck on the shield is just for when you're killing enemies, because you're going to have your shield out, you're going to have your sword out, you're not sheathing it. Well, so we had all these questions. And finally Amazon said, okay, we're going to fix it. Well, with this patch, I believe they definitely did fix it. In fact, I think it's a little too fixed, if you will. So people in my company were telling me, hey, they finally fixed it. They made it so that the attributes actually stay. So does luck stay? Does this stay? So decided to do some testing, and this is what we found. So to kick things off, I have a shield that has, let's go with Constitution. So here's the shield with Constitution. We're going to go ahead and put it on, and we're going to leave the sword unequipped. Okay. So when I have this shield on, I have 8826 health. Okay, or I mean, you can just check it out here. Constitution 60. When I take this off, and it's supposed to give me 10, so it should go down to 50, right? Well, it doesn't, because I don't have a sword attached to it. So what we know from this is you have to have the sword equipped for the shield stats to apply. And I mean, that was always a thing, we always knew that. So if I go ahead and equip the sword and put the Constitution shield on there, I should have 70, right? And there it is. And my HP goes up to 9125. So that's great. Now let's see if the health goes down when we skin something. And it doesn't, so they did fix it. They actually fixed it, and they made it so that the attribute points stick. Now we want to know, well, what happens with the perks? What happens with the weapon perks, like your keen, your vicious? Does that stay? Does it only apply when you have your sword out? Like, who the heck knows? So we're going to do some, some practicing on the target dummies here. So to do that, I have a shield right here with Keenly Jagged. So what Keenly Jagged says is, if you crit your next attack, so on crit, cause bleed that deals 7% weapon damage per second for 6 seconds. So anytime we crit, we're going to be applying a bleed. Okay. So we got our sword. We're going to wait for a crit, and there's our crit. And there's definitely some bleed. So we know that the Keenly Jagged does work if you have your sword and shield out. So what if we take the sword off? What's going to happen? It's not going to work, right? All right, so we remove the sword, and we're just going to use the life staff. And we're going to keep hitting until we get a crit and see if the Keenly Jagged is still in effect. It shouldn't be, because the Constitution doesn't apply, so the Keenly Jagged shouldn't apply. And there's our crit, and we have no bleed. So now we put the sword back on, and now I'm going to use the life staff, and I want to see if the Keenly Jagged is still going to make our life staff crits bleed. So let's check that out. And it does. So my life staff has a bleed effect because of the stats and the perks on my shield. So that's actually pretty crazy. So all of these things, in theory, the vicious, the sure-footing, the Keenly Jagged, I mean, it should all be in effect, even though I don't have my sword and shield unsheathed and actively out. So actually, that brings me to the next question. I wonder if sure-footing works. So with the shield blocking, is that 20% faster? I don't even know. Doesn't seem like it. Anyway. Oh, it is. That's what that is. So if we take that off, yeah, you're slower. Wow. So even the sure footing works. That's actually really cool. As long as you have the sword and shield equipped, it doesn't have to be out. You're going to get those benefits. So one of the crazy things I found out was, well, what about the other weapons? What about these weapons? Do those perks also take effect as long as you have it equipped in the slot? Well, let's find out. So I've got an axe here with 𝙏𝙤𝙢𝙎𝙙 as well. So with the axe, when I get a crit, I should definitely get bleed. And there's our bleed. Now what about with the life staff? Oh, what was that? So let's see if it works with the life staff. It doesn't work. So what we know is the sword and shield is special. That shield is special. That's the only weapon so far that I'm aware of in the game that's going to give you all the weapon perks when you're not using it, but have it equipped with the sword. So now I'm wondering, well, what about the sword? Will the sword perks work with the shield? I guess we can test that out too. So we're going to find out. So here's our sword. There's our chain lightning. Now, if we switch weapons, if the sword works the same way the shield does, we should have chain lightning on our on our life staff too. But we don't. It doesn't work that way. So that is pretty interesting. That is definitely interesting. So I guess it is true. So what we know is, you know, you keep all the stats and all the attribute points when you have your sword and shield equipped, and you don't even have to have it unsheathed to get the benefits. You can have it put away using your other weapon, and you're still going to get all these benefits from the shield. We know that for a fact. So that's pretty crazy. So I'm going to check the forums really quick and see what they say about that, if it's intentional, if it's going to be changed, or, you know, what have you. What does all this mean for a healer? Well, this means Lender is probably going to be making a sword and shield life staff build. Why? Because when I put my Void Gauntlet away and I'm back to my life staff, I'm not getting Keen. I'm not getting Corrupted Bane. I'm not getting Chained Void. But if I put a sword there and I put my sword away and I use my I use my life staff, I'm getting that Keen. I'm getting that extra refreshing. I'm getting that. Oh yeah, don't look at the hated. We've already made that mistake once. We don't want to talk about that. That was on purpose. I was just seeing if you guys would catch that in the video. But anyway, yeah, you can put a round shield on and still stay in the light category with a light chest. So I'm going to be doing some playing around because I really like having extra perks, you know. And since we don't get these extra perks on this, and we don't get the extra perks like the Keen, the Corrupted Bane, and the Void Gauntlet, unless it's actively being used, you know, I'm going to go with the shield. I'm going to try it out. I'm going to see if there's a build I can come up with. You know, maybe there's some stuff in the tree. I got to talk to some sword and shield guys. I've never played sword and shield. Ever. I don't even know why my sword and shield's level 20. So I guess I do play it sometimes. Anyway, I'm going to talk to some guys, find out if you have to have your sword and shield out to get all these perks. If not, I'm going to see if I can come up with something for a healer build. Because I can't tell you how many times it would be so nice to just pull out a sword and shield and be able to block some attacks while the tank gets aggro again, you know? And now we may actually have a reason to do that, because we're going to get, as long as you find, you know, weapons that have the right attributes, and you can find a good shield with like keen. So now I'm going to look into, you know, can orb of protection, the healing part of it, can it crit? I'm going to look into all that stuff, and I'm really going to do some digging and find out what you know, what we can come up with. So be watching for that video. But as of right now, I'm pretty excited. You could put a round shield on, stay in the light category, get a little bit extra armor rating, you know, elemental, physical, and get all these extra stats. You get an extra refreshing, or refreshing evasion, refreshing ward. You can have keen, you can have, I mean, it opens up a lot of possibilities. So that's what I wanted to cover. And you know, that's what I have to say about the shield. Pretty cool. All right, so this is the only post I could find. This was put up 2 hours ago. I did some searching and I can't find anything about it on the forum. So I'm probably going to submit a post myself and just ask, you know, is this intentional? Is it going to change? Is it supposed to be like this? Did you guys overtune the shield? I mean, it's pretty crazy, but I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's going to open up some pretty cool, you know, possibilities, and I'd like to see it stay. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. You know, should it be changed back? Should it stay like this? What do you guys think? So anyway, that's all I have for you guys. Everybody have a great night, and be watching for my stream. Going to be definitely running some more Mutated Tempest, and hopefully we'll get to 10 by tomorrow. We're already on either 7 or 8, so having a lot of fun. All right, have a great night, everybody. I will catch you guys in the next video.